And there we go. We are on. The show's on. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our first town hall format state of the game. It's a little bit of a departure from how we've done things in the past. We usually have a lot of videos, but I think that this is actually quite nice, isn't it? We really enjoyed Friday. And today I'm joined by Axie and Toggle. Say hello, guys.
What up? How's it going, gamers?
Toggle, are you there?
I said hello.
Oh, am I deaf? All right. Well, with that out of the way, hello, everybody. We're here to talk about what the state of the game is. On Friday, we had Truefire and Quaid and myself and a lot of your favorite Vortex game members talking about what to expect from the patch. We know that you all are very excited about that, and we are too. And we will be dropping a link to the new patch I want to say around 6:45. So get ready for that, and we'll be kicking off the patch here together, which will be really fun. We've never really done something like this before, but I think it's really nice to celebrate these moments with the community, don't you think?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of fun to, especially as someone who, you know, kind of only sees comments after the comments have happened already. It's kind of fun to see everything just happen live. So, really excited to be a part of it.
Yep. So we've got. I think the first thing to talk about is what do we think about the state of the game? Where is it? Is it in a healthy spot? Is it in an unhealthy spot? Are the things that we're excited about? Are the things that we're not excited about? And what are we doing as a team to kind of correct that? And or fix things or improve things. And I think what's really interesting is what one thing we've really learned is that we have this massive strength, which is our community, and the fact that we really care about one another. We're really invested here. We are a small scene, but we're very tight knit, and I think that that's something that we want to play more into in 2022. I think that the fact that we're doing these town halls as a community together is really nice, and I think that that idea of a community forward game development is going to be a theme that's playing out in everything that we're doing. And what that means functionally at a high level is that everything is going to be much more social, it's going to be much more involving, and I think that's really exciting when you bring that into game design, in-game rewards, game modes, uh, leaderboards, esports, and everything else that we're going to be talking about at a very high level here today. So, the first thing, before I hand it off to Toggle, is we have some bad news, and I want to get this out of the way so that we can focus on the fun stuff for the rest of this call together. And that's that, as you might have expected by now, we haven't been talking about RushCon a lot, and the state of COVID and in-person events in general hasn't been great. Genesis got postponed. We were going to have an in-person presence there, which obviously isn't happening as expected. And so for us, particularly as we wanted to focus on community, we wanted to think about War Masters and everything. And it really looks like we're going to have to postpone all of that stuff indefinitely. Bringing War Masters to in-person events, RushCon. So please, you know, we do want to run this. We were really looking forward to it. We were putting a lot of time and energy into planning it, and it's not going to work out timing wise. But, you know, on with the show. We have good things, exciting things to talk about. First, I'll kick it over to Toggle to talk about esports in the context of the community forward idea that I've just brought up.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you for that. Yeah, so uh, just looking back at what we've already accomplished as a community, it's really impressive to see what you guys as players, what our tournament organizers have accomplished, what our team has accomplished these past 2 seasons of Alpha Season 1 and 2, this past summer and this past fall. We've accomplished lot of really cool things, and we've learned a lot of really cool things too. And so this off season that we've been having, this extended off season, we wanted to make sure that um, we wanted to continue learning, right? That's part of running a game in alpha, is being able to iterate on things really fast, being able to try new things and see what works and what doesn't. So instead of just making small tweaks before alpha season 3, we wanted to make sure that we want to try as many different ways of competitive organized play. So for the next, we've been really brainstorming, like, what are the best ways that we can have more community involvement. And so for the next few months, we wanted to be able to provide a space for community tournaments and community organizers to really get the spotlight. Um, and there's a lot of things that we're doing on the back end, things that we're doing in development to make sure that you guys can have the best community run tournaments. When we think about other grassroots fighting games, right, these tools were developed agnostically from the developer support for over a period of a decade. And we're trying to brainstorm, it's like, what are ways that we can you know make sure that these community tournaments not only feel supported, but can kind of like kickstart that's not just that support, but the tools to be able to so that anybody can run a tournament, and that anybody can run a stream. So we wanted to make sure that we have provided as much of the tools and guides for you guys to be able to run tournaments very confidently. We
What,
had a
can I jump in? So what kind of tools do we already have, right? Because there's a lot of stuff that we already have as a team and that we have kind of put out there, but I don't think the community is really using it to its full extent. You want to kind of run down some of those things, Toggle?
Sure. And I'm seeing questions, guys. You guys can continue having conversations and sending questions. I will address some of the more pressing issues, hopefully, before we open it up to questions. But yeah, some of the tools that we've already developed. Of course, we have our stream tool. For anybody that's worked with us officially, they're very aware of how easy it is to use and how you can make a professional looking stream right out the gate with minimal streaming experience. The stream tool sets up all your scenes automatically. It pulls so much. It does a really good job of making a really polished stream almost immediately. Um, some other things that we've already had out there in the ether is because as a result of Revolt University, we have several lessons about tournament organization. Everything from how to use Smash GG, how to set up your own tournament, how to specifically use the tools that are for Rushdown Revolt in Smash GG. And it's all of those things are set up in multiple videos. And if you don't want to use Smash GG, we have videos on Challenge, we have videos on some other TOing tools. Um, but of course, we want to continue building these tools and
What
yeah.
yeah. What do you think our goal is for this push? Like, what would you say we're trying to accomplish with this push to encourage the community to organize some of their own tournaments?
Well, I certainly for this next period, I would love to see people step up and give tournament organization and stream running a try. Um, I think one of the things that we prevented from happening just by virtue of the fact that we had so many tournaments in Alpha Season 2 was the opportunity for community organizers to have their own tournaments. So where the
Yeah.
pendulum is swinging the opposite direction, where we're going to see, like, well, if we do build it, how many people will come? If we build it, like if we build the tools, make it as easy as possible to overcome that hurdle. Um, what kind of what kind of people are going to show up, and what can we manifest in more of a grassroots uh a grassroots sense?
What do you think in terms of you mentioned we're kind of, I mean, I don't want to put this strong of a word on it, right? But we were kind of smothering the community scene, right? We just had so many
A little
different
bit.
events going on. And what we're trying to do with this, if I can, repeat back what you're saying,
Mhm.
in my own words, it's that we want to give a little bit of space before season 3 to let, whether it's the Bubby beatdowns, a midweek rushy, or the yogurt organized tournaments, more space to breathe, and more space to kind of establish themselves as a cornerstone of the community. Because not only is that helpful and healthy for the community, but it allows those organizers to build a brand for themselves, right?
Yeah, I mean, we were smothering, like, every single tournament announcement was, there were 5 per week at least, and it was all official tournaments, and it's very hard for, community organizers to be like, "Hey, I can't have a tournament on Friday or Saturday or Sunday, and I only get, 4 days to maybe run a tournament, and who's gonna wanna participate in 4 or 5 tournaments a week," right? It's just it's this is our way of trying to, field, like, experiment with, what does community organized tournaments look like in the grander ecosystem of our proposed esports for this game?
I Can I talk about some of the material stuff we're doing to support some of these guys, or do you want to start talking about that?
Yeah, yeah, I can talk about those things. We have those tools that are already out, which of course are our Smash GG tasks, and the Rushdown Revolt stream tool, and the videos on how to use both. But we still want to um, support community events, which we've never really done before. We've done it in, like, small ways where we're like, hey, let's just throw $100 as a prize pool for this for this tournament, or $500 for this, and it was just kind of like, whenever we saw something, we kind of just, supported it monetarily. And we want to be able to streamline that process by, having a very easily accessible way to, funding your prize pool, so that we can still maintain, the tournaments that are free to enter, and be able to, walk out with some cash, right? Just like, the things that we're used to seeing in, our weekly events.
So, in other words, we're going to be providing some cash prizing to some of these tournament organizers.
Yeah, absolutely. And
There you go.
providing prize pools, and being able to use the official Rushdown Revolt stream, or you can use it on your own. But we're creating spaces for you guys to be able to explore those resources, and make it a lot more streamlined instead of feeling haphazard sometimes.
So,
Um,
so we're going to be using. I mean, there's also stuff that we're learning to use too, right? So there's the Discord events feature. This is a new feature that Discord has. We have this Twitch stream which we can use to host you. Uh, we have the cash prizing we can provide for the community to organize it. I feel like between all of this, there's so much for people to tap into. It's just a matter of like, okay, well, what's the first step? Do we are still putting this together, right? So we don't have that. Well, here's where I go to sign up and get my tournament sponsored and featured, but we are working on that, right?
yeah, yeah, that's something we're actively working on.
Right. So we'll have an update for you guys there as it relates to when and where we can start getting some of your tournaments sponsored and supported with the fullest extent that we can put behind it, which I think is terrific. Um, you know, from a is there anything else actually, Toggle, you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, a couple more things actually. So we've talked a lot about like things we've already done. And we're just we're just kind of sharing with the community, right? The stream tool, opportunities for monetary support for your prize pools. These are things that we've done in the past, but we're still trying to innovate. We're still trying to do new actually new things. So one of the ways that we wanted to reward players and organizers for their participation is exploring new ways in which we can champion really our most dedicated community members, which includes like providing in-game cosmetics for folks that win tournaments or organize tournaments or participate in tournaments, right? Making sure that, and in addition to that, in addition to rewarding those players, because some of you might be like, I already have 17 gold skins. What do I need more for? Is making sure that you guys can trade those skins in game, right? Creating a space where those skins can be in a marketplace or in a. Oh, we're still again this is the very early stages, but trying to find a use for skin duplicates or the skins that you may not want or may want to trade for something else. So this is something that we're actively working on, and we don't have like a timeline for it yet, or something that we don't want to share quite yet. But it is something that we are working towards and happy to share with you guys. Um, we
I
also want
think
to
it's
like,
really important, by the way, that when we talk about things being tradable, right, that whatever we're ending up creating any kind of financial incentive for people, it's something that we want to make sure that it's community forward, right? So if there's a way that providing things in a tradable way that the community would be against, we're not going to do that.
yeah,
So I think it's really important to understand that our focus is community forward. And as long as whatever we're doing is something that the community is supportive of and understands that this is helpful and healthy for the community, then we should be in a good spot.
yeah, and it's like there's more than one way of doing this, right? There's more than one way we can skin this cat, which is a really shitty uh expression, but
It kind of is.
yeah, it's like, there's existing platforms that we can take that have pros and cons, right? Like say if we use the Steam marketplace, unfortunately that marketplace can only exist on Steam, right? So if we wanted to, one of our very early goals was we want to be cross-platform. And in order for us to be able to do that, we would have to be able to have a marketplace that doesn't necessarily live in only on one of those platforms. And so we're weighing the pros and cons, trying to see what's the best way for us to be able to allow players to trade cosmetics, possibly buy and sell cosmetics, be able to transfer cosmetics between players. Um,
One thing is that as we explore this stuff, we're going to be doing it with you guys. We're going to be doing it
yeah,
with all of you. So w- our exploration, we want to make it very clear because we're talking about monetization effectively, right? If we're saying, "Hey, there's skin trading," right? As a developer, just the logic of it is if we're allowing players to trade skins, what we're basically saying is we're not going to make money selling two skins because we're selling one skin to one person. So obviously there's some way mathematically that it ends up being worthwhile for us to do that. Um, the nature of the math though is that if you have like some fee on it that goes to Steam, some of it comes to us, or whatever platform. The idea is that players in general would net save from having to own a skin that they don't necessarily want anymore and they could trade it to someone else. But this is a massive can of worms we don't need to get into right now. I will say that this is something that we want to, in our focus of being community forward, to handle as a community and talk about. But we have a lot of other stuff to cover uh, for today's state of
yeah.
the game.
And so in addition to making sure that we can that in-game assets can be traded and can be in a marketplace, that's one of the things that we're looking at. One of another thing that we're looking at is celebrating players in a more tangible way within the game. You know, including UI elements that display accomplishments such as tournament participation and winning for certain seasons, like that are in game that people can see, you know, when you are competing, right? Or you're playing the game, right? Very similar. If you ever think about Rocket League, like the nameplates on every single username, there's, you know, competitive season ranks. There is like, hey, I participated in, you know, the Rocket League championship, or I was on the winning team, or whatever, right? I'm in my office, so my mic is a little bit meh. Um,
Well, Toggle tells us anytime we're talking about like network viability, particularly around tournaments, is how great the internet is in Hawaii. But then his voice calls are always staticky, and we're not sure how to break it to him. But I don't know. It's just bad luck. It's just bad luck, Toggle. Don't worry about it. But no, this is a great way to really emphasize that the focus is trying to make the rewards that we have more rewarding for people. So if there's ways that we can integrate Discord, whether Discord allows you to chat with the people who you're playing with in game, whether your accomplishments and achievements that you earn in game can be shown off in the Discord. I think that having those kinds of um, little hooks, right, where if someone's in the Discord and they see, you know, a bunch of people have, I'm making this up now because we haven't discussed it yet, but like gold names and like a little crown emoji next to them, like, oh, those are the tournament winners, right?
Yeah.
I think that there's something really neat about pushing that forward. Definitely
Yeah.
not voice chat. I think that what we're looking to do, if anything, and I think this is a neat idea. So you guys tell me what you think about this. But in essence, we would have in-game text chat, but in order to be able to do in-game text chat, you would have to connect your account to your Discord. And so if you're reporting someone, you would basically report them in Discord for what they're saying, and then we can kick them out of Discord and they can't use voice text chat anymore.
Yeah.
What do
I
you
do
guys
only
think
have
about that?
one. Can you guys
You're
hear me?
in Discord, Graham.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, no, I can hear you, Toggle.
Okay.
You're good.
I had to. The coconut fibers that connect a lot of the internet here, sometimes people trip over them. So it's kind of hard to make sure that we all have internet.
I
Um,
see.
so, but you know, we all have fiber internet. As a
They're
joke,
coconut fibers.
they're coconut fibers. um, but before I step away, or you know, open up to questions, or open up to some of the things I saw in chat, um, I did want to say that we want the last thing, and this is probably the most exciting thing, is that by the end of this is a goal of ours, but one of the things that we wanted to accomplish by the end of the year was to be able to support in-game tournament organization signing up and competing, which means that it would not be on Smash GG. It would be in the game, where you could see, hey, there's a tournament going on in the game, and I can sign up and I can just, you know, compete, and like
Right.
stage striking would happen in game. And
Right.
so these are things that's something that's very real that we're trying to go towards. We love our partnership with Smash GG. They've been amazing. But creating endemic tools for your game to allow for competitive play is definitely something that we would love to be able to provide our community.
Yep. One thing, Ringworm, that I think is really interesting about ranked mode in the relation to like a tournament type in-game model is we could do something where you have basically a ladder that people are playing in on a daily basis, and if you have a certain ranked uh, win ratio, then you would qualify for that day's daily tournament. I don't know what Fantasy Strike system is. Maybe I just described it and embarrassed myself. But yes, we do want to support more competitive play in Rushdown Revolt. And it doesn't necessarily have to apply to just tournaments, right? Like stage striking and banning, potentially even character bans would be conducted in game, just to make it a really seamless experiment.
Okay, so I scrolled way back just to be able to try to get some individual questions because I do have to step away in about 5 minutes. So I'm going to answer as many things as I can, specifically about esports and and competitive play for our game. People are asking, when is Alpha Season 3? It is not scheduled at the moment. We do want to try this community outlet first and see, what we can, what is feasible and what is not feasible with future plans. We have ideas, but it's completely dependent on how successful, community organization is. Um,
Couple
let's
couple
see.
things, right? We don't want to we want to give the community room to breathe. So if we said, oh, we're starting season 3 in 2 weeks, then everyone's like, well, we're just going to wait 2 weeks. So we want to give it some time. So think like at least a month or two before season 3 comes back in your head, just so that it's like the community has plenty of time to start organizing stuff, to start producing their own events, and then we can think about where we kind of plug into that and fit into that schedule.
I have people saying that esports is yawn, but that's what half of this discussion is. So I don't know what to tell you.
Talking about focusing on the community and social elements, and so esports is I don't know if you've heard of it. It's this thing that video games have been doing recently, in like the last like few months, right? Like there's this League of Legends thing. But anyway, we'll move on. We'll move on. Toggle, you good to go, sir?
I'm if there's any like burning questions, I'm gonna just jump to present and see if there's like anything that I can answer. But then I will step out after 4 minutes. Esports like Madden. Yes, exactly like Madden.
Yep. Yep.
100%. To be
Actually, are
fair,
you there?
actually,
Oh, go ahead, Toggle.
Yeah, I'm right here.
well, I was just saying that like EA actually has a pretty decent esports with their FIFA series, but and there's some of their NBA stuff too. But anyway, um,
It's in the
I don't see
game.
it is in the
All
game.
right, no,
I don't
you're
see
off the
very many
hook,
questions.
Toggle. Well, I'll keep holding the fort down. Don't you worry about it.
All right. Will there be a list of rules, restrictions, and shared assets for us? Yes, we do have a repository of art assets that you can use for promotional materials, including like full body models. I don't think we have 3D assets set out aside, but a lot of 2D assets like our promotional art. All that is available. Fonts available as well. The rules and restrictions. Smash GG uses the same rule set for everything. So if you do a Rushdown event, and if we are going to like have a central hub for like a league page for all these community events, you will have to be using the rule set that we set up, like at least the stage list. As far as like bans and that kind of stuff go, it would have to be the task list that they have on Smash GG. But that's something that we can work with Smash GG on creating or modifying with enough community support.
Also, wait until the patch preview before you decide on banning certain stages.
Yes, for sure.
Cool. Thanks, Toggle.
Yeah.
All right. We'll let you quietly exit stage left or stage
All
right.
right.
I don't know which way you came on stage here today. Axie, I know you didn't plan on this, so I'm just gonna bewilder you with questions now.
Sure
But
thing. Throw me in the water.
We are talking about community forward. We're talking about making things more social. And a big part of this is very much up your alley, which is the idea of player progression, right? So we talked about having achievements that can be displayed in Discord. We talked about like an in-game Discord gated chat, and we talked about a number of the esports initiatives. But from a media perspective, I think that there's a lot that we're doing to help players get their grounding and understand the game from the early stages of gameplay to the middle stages. I think the people who are pros, we have Metafy, which is amazing, but I'd love for you to just share a few things about some of the stuff we're working on this week that are going to be coming out.
Yeah, we have a lot of media stuff like in the pipeline, and we've been working on it for a while. That's why we've been mostly quiet because we have like a lot of stuff that we thought was like necessary for the community. Things like I don't know, updated guides, stuff like that. Things that like would really help.
Guides that we've had since like September 2018 are being updated.
That's right.
Why are we doing that? They're totally relevant and accurate to the game still.
Yeah. Well, as good as they were, we tried to at least get something with a new visual update, maybe something a little more familiar for players, something that, like, if you're a new player coming in, you need to like see, right? You don't want to look at the game like that. The tutorials that are there are like Vortex Rising stuff, right? It's that old. But a little bit fresher, a little bit nicer looking. Probably coming soon. TM.
This week, I think
This
we're doing
week,
an
yeah.
episode every day. Sorry if I just surprised
Yeah,
you.
I wasn't gonna say it, but sure. Yeah, let's roll with it. Starting tomorrow, every day we'll be dropping a guide. And then we have some other content on the way that'll be a little bit more interesting. Probably in a week and a half or two.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
yeah, content team has been working real hard on it, and we're really happy with how it's looking. And hopefully you guys will be excited about it.
There you go.
I don't only
So-
grind away, Sean.
oh,
I also
yeah.
make videos.
I only grind way, Sean. I said to myself that if I want to pick up a character and really start playing it, it's going to be Afigalu just because they're so much fun. And now I've been in development, cave. I come out and there's like some amazing new players who are just shredding. Freezy, hi, and Kiwi, literally on cue, saying hi in general chat. These two are beasts. And I'm gonna have to ask Kiwi to teach me some Afigalu. Um, so kind of rounding out on top of the media stuff, on top of the esports stuff, we have the patch that we will be dropping the preview for in a few minutes here. So get ready for that. And we can even watch it together and talk about it, which would be pretty cool because I haven't watched the video end to end, and maybe I'll hold you hostage here, Axie, and we can watch the video together and then talk about it a little bit. Maybe some of the behind the scenes of editing this thing.
Behind the scenes are a lot of grinding.
Show us where all the duct tape is. Show us where all the duct tape and the super glue is. I think that'd be pretty cool actually to talk about like some of the work that went into producing this trailer. We've got the time.
All right.
But what is community forward, focusing on social stuff impact on gameplay? I think it's three things. Three things, folks. There's first, we have to think about how welcoming is Rushdown Revolt to a new player. And that doesn't mean, by the way, before anyone starts panicking, that doesn't mean dumbing down the gameplay. That doesn't mean simplifying the gameplay mechanics or anything like that. But what does the new player experience look like? How are they introduced to Rushdown Revolt? Why should they play today? What should they try to accomplish today? What should they try to accomplish tomorrow? What should they try to accomplish before the next weekend? What is there to look forward to do besides kind of abstractly get better, right? How do we make that journey very, very clear for new players? Where do we direct them to start? How do we track their progress? How do we get them more and more invested into the game? That's one thing that we're thinking about a lot. Another thing that we're thinking about is team play. So we've dabbled in this a lot. We've been pushing kind of tag team mode, 2v2s. This is stuff that we're definitely going to be focusing on for 2022. A lot of twos in that number, so we gotta put something related to two out as a game mode this year. It should just be a huge missed opportunity. So we're gonna have to push that out at some point. And I think the third thing is having options for people where it really feels like there is a way to play the game with your friends that's not quite the way that we have it now. If you remember from Kickstarter, we were talking about like relic gauntlets, and that's a way that's like kind of more fun and kind of like carefree way to play the game. I mean, even more like casual than that, even like I think with respect to break the targets as an example, that was something that we think that there's room to explore and really make that part of the game a fun thing that you can do with your friends, and something where you can compete with one another, maybe even make your own levels, and that would just be super, super sick. Maybe even capture the flag mode. Yeah, I think related to teams, objective based stuff is pretty neat. So
Yeah, there's like a real there's a real want from the community to have like a game mode that isn't just like fancy waiting, like friendlies or whatever. So instead of like waiting with extra steps, we do want to have more like varied game modes where the focus isn't always beat up the opponent as fast and optimally as possible, right? That'd be really cool. Nice break from like the main like game flow. That'd be super dope. Like volleyball. Volleyball
can
is
we
like an
talk about
awesome way.
break for a second? That word was
Yeah.
so good. Like, why is it that our game you need a break from it? You know what I mean? It's just like fighting games are just super, super intense, and I think it would be nice to have something that people could do to just chill. That's still playing the
Yeah,
game. That's
exactly.
still sharpening their skills, but it's not
Yeah.
stressful.
hmm It's just like an alternative way of doing it. Like same input,
Yeah.
same controls or whatever, but you're not like the goal is a little bit different. It's the same path, different ending.
Mm. I would think about it as like same skills.
Yeah.
Same skills. It's teaching you the game. You're getting better at the game. It's something that like if we do this properly, it's relevant for a Pugsy as much as it is a brand new player.
As an
Um,
accent.
yeah, as an Axie, as like a full on noob.
New player. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I think 2v1 is my go-to break mode. There you go. Well, look, that's pretty much all we had to talk about today. So I guess we should get that trailer ready. Do you want to set that to public?
Yeah. I'll launch
Set
it
that to
right
public.
now.
Set that to public. I'll drop it in announcements. Say when.
When
When
we're
already?
live.
We're
Yep.
we're live
I-
already. Okay.
yeah.
Wow.
If we're gonna speed run the meeting, I'll speed run the launch of the video too.
All right, so everybody check out announcements. Let's all watch this now, and after 4 minutes, we will come back and talk about it. I don't think the patch officially goes live until 7 o'clock. I don't think the dev team's ready, so we do have
Oh
20
no, this
minutes
is
to go.
spoilers. Don't look, guys.
Wait, why?
You might get it spoiled. There you go. Everybody in general.
Whose voice is that?
That's Toggle.
Yeah. Ezzy looks crazy.
Yeah, I'm really excited about her.
All right, I just finished the video. True Fire Quake, is the new patch up yet? Let's talk about this video though. Amazing job, Axie. Everybody give Axie and the
Thanks.
media team. And I mean, honestly, this is a huge patch link thing. Link didn't work.
Oh, I don't know if they've made that live yet. We are a little early on the draw.
It should just be patch notes, shouldn't it?
They told me no. They told me they were changing that, but maybe they. No, it's not patch notes.
Tell you what, I'm gonna developer my way through this right now.
All right. Everything is live now. I was just waiting on the green light. So patch should be live and patch notes page should be functional now. It might
baby.
take the website a minute to like update its caches and stuff. But
There
I'll
we
post a
go.
link in general.
Thank you, True Fire. So, again, congrats to the whole team, honestly, on getting this out. We're really, really excited about this. This was a huge gameplay update, big milestone for us to get out there, address some of the biggest concerns that we have with the game as it relates to positional advantage and disadvantage, as it relates to being off stage, as it relates to training mode and having more tooling being available.
Yeah,
And
all the
yeah,
all the small changes this patch are like they're definitely going to shake up the meta quite a bit. Like just like every little piece, no one thing is going to be to blame for it, but I think the tier list and like what you guys are used to, the staleness, Seth #1, all that's going to be shaken up quite a bit. And like, get in there, figure it out. You guys will get it. Training mode is there for you. Everything's going to be a lot different.
So this is a huge, again, shift for us to be even more community forward, to think how can we really lean on the community more? How can we support the community with regards to esports? How do we make the rewards and achievements feel that much more important? How do we bring the community and the recognition of individual community members up? So it's about putting the spotlight on individual communities, community members, excuse me, and individual team members. I think that, again, TrueFire, Quaid, Evil, the full game development team, media team, art team, again, just crushed it with this patch. We're super excited for all of you to play with it. I'm going to be playing some of it. I hope to play some games with some of you guys. And we have another town hall planned for this Friday. So make sure you do not miss that. It's going to be this coming Friday, I think. What did we say? 7 o'clock Eastern time, which will be the Danger Patch review. So we will be having Quaid and TrueFire looking at the top complaints and focus of what the Danger Patch is doing right. What is it doing wrong? How do we fix it? How do we resolve it? Are there any kind of aftershock?
Really put them through the
adjustments?
ringer, guys.
Yeah.
Like,
Are there
they
any
haven't
kind
been
of
working hard enough.
Yeah. Are there any particular challenges that we need to dial back on? So make sure you mark this as an event you're interested in. This upcoming event as something you're interested in. I'm typing, if you can hear. I posted an announcement, the Danger Patch review. We will be going over all of the gameplay adjustments, talking about maybe a couple teasers of some other content we're working on. And I think with that, let's all play some Rushdown. How about that?
Did we want to take some questions?
Oh, we should take some questions, huh? Let's do that. Let's go through the raise your hand thing. So we got the town hall. We got F-Tilt fan. Let's bring them up.
All right. Invite out Akoi.
Oh, that's a Akoi. I should have known that.
Yeah.
No requests. Oh, no, here he is. Welcome.
So, I have a couple questions. Number one, the last time we had a meeting here, I asked about Reyna, and then you said, "Oh yeah, we could talk about Reyna more in the next town hall."
I'm slapping my head. I totally forgot. Let's talk about Reyna. Reyna is one of the next characters to be coming out for Rushdown Revolt. That's going to be slated for this summer. We have to spend a considerable amount of more time when we're designing a character from scratch. Excuse me. But we do have plans to expand our team and dramatically ramp up the speed of production. So even though we're waiting kind of 6 months for our next character, the rest should be, coming out roughly every 3 to 4 months afterwards. And I think we're actually going to have a very social way of deciding which character after Reyna will be next. So there actually will be some kind of community, I don't want to say polling because it's a little bit more active than that, but there will be definitely a community way that we will all decide on what the next character after Reyna ends up being, which is super exciting.
That's really cool. I have a follow-up question.
Go for it.
A couple patches ago, I think. You guys mentioned some weird Aang x someone else fusion.
The Galu and Erda?
Was it Aang and Erda? I don't remember. I remember it being like Aang and someone.
I think we were joshing you guys. It was. I think it was Offie and Raymer, and we were just saying they had 4 guns.
Oh man.
I will say, just a little bit of behind the scenes stuff. One of the things that we were looking and doing was to make an Affy and Galu fusion character a while ago. And one of the things we realized was because these assets aren't ours, sometimes when we go like, well, hey, okay, who designed this thing? How does it work? That person doesn't exist, and that person, or they exist, but they haven't been around in like 3 years. So we don't know how like the Affigalu models were imported into the game, and we still don't actually know how to do that.
There's a lot of
So
mystery in
but
this
we're
in the code we're working with.
so we have like been like, okay, well, I guess Affigalu aren't getting any skins for a while, or new character fusions that use their rig, but that's a little tidbit of game design that you don't really expect, where you're just like, oh wow, there's like a universe of different puzzle pieces that all have to fit together perfectly, and if things don't go well, it can really impact development. So when people say, for example, like, oh, COVID is affecting the development pipeline, it doesn't mean that like COVID infected the whole team and everyone's 30% slower. What it could mean is that like two people who were really important to the development got sick, and because of that, everything got shut down or like slowed down. Yeah. Yeah.
Especially in the smaller team.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who are just like choke points. If they go down, everything goes down because they're just so good at what they do. Nobody can replace them.
Dang.
That's
Like,
life. Wait, what are you gonna say, Axie?
don't worry about it.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions? Thank you, F-Tilt fan / Akoi. Pleasure to have you back.
Any
Going
questions? Or
once.
is everybody gaming?
Going
Freezy.
twice. Oh, Freezy's coming up.
What up, Freezy?
Freezy is a new member that I've recently gotten to know.
Freezy's great.
Why is there so much love from you guys for Ezzy? I don't understand the focus from the devs.
She's
Like,
cool.
Honestly, eat plant cool is true, but also we're trying to get Ezzy to a point where people are like, damn, I want to play that character. Because we're still haven't been able to hit that point.
okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
little quiet, but that's okay.
This is like a follow-up to a follow-up question. What about Kid as in like egg reworks, visual reworks?
I mean, we're doing that right now, like at least with the Ezzy reworks. Everything's getting reworked slowly, but do you mean like
Like visual reworks.
oh, visual reworks?
Yeah.
How far along are we on that?
So in terms of visual reworks, I think that we are focused on, let me think about it. I'm trying to think about A, remembering everything we're working on, and then B, what stuff that we can talk about.
Yeah. I think the farthest along model rework is actually none of those.
Well, a couple
and-
things. Yeah, a couple
Yeah.
things. We are actually going to be hiring a bunch of people, so please look out for that. And when we post in announcements, hey, we're going to be hiring a bunch of people. Super important. You guys help us spread the word there, because that's going to make the difference between the quality of the people on our team. And the better people on the team, the better the art assets, the better the gameplay, better everything, right? And sometimes, as we just talked about, one person can make a huge difference. I know that we're very focused on updating all the visuals for the characters and having them fit a cohesive theme, as well as cosmetics and things that we can sell to players, and potentially, as Toggle talked about, stuff that players can also trade with themselves, which we want to be rewards, not necessarily things that people pay for.
So,
but yeah.
short answer, it's
Yeah.
all in the pipeline, and soon TM, like the classic answer. We didn't forget
That
about
works.
it.
That works.
We didn't forget about it.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
How did you? I have a question for you, Freezy. How did you get so good? Tell us about your
Natural talent.
your natural talent. How did you get so good? He just
Played a
played a
lot.
lot. Just played a
Cool.
lot. Makes sense. That works. Any other questions? Any other comments? Anyone already download and play the game and have initial reactions?
Oh, you know they did. You know
I'm
they have a
sure they
lot of
do.
initial.
I'm sure they do. We can have 5 minutes of patch review here.
Dippy-kun
Ooh,
has a question.
let's do it. Welcome.
Hey.
So I initially was gonna play it, but I saw my brother started playing with Ash because we both main Ash. So me and him have the same question. Y'all, are you guys gonna try to give her? I know you guys can't do it yet, but I know hopefully down the line sometime. But the question is, would you guys give her Dudley's move from Third Strike, like the Thunderbolt, where he just goes up in the air and then goes downward? Would that ever happen?
That was actually something we thought about a few months back. We were considering that for one of the options for replacing down special, I think. We ended up
What?
going with the current down special because we liked it a little bit more.
Oh my goodness. Because like I'm just watching him, he just like has his headphones and he's just going ham right now. And I'm just like, the double punch was when I saw the patches myself, I was like, the double punch ain't
Double
no way.
punch. The double punch is really, really fun. That's my
I was
favorite
like,
move in the
yeah,
game right now.
I was like, because I got like a lot of my friends to play Rushdown Revolt. By the way, they love like everyone like the community I grew with the game, like on my
Mhm.
streams, love it. And I'm hoping that there's a rework for Kid that
Mhm.
makes him just
Kid got a few
hilariously
changes.
hilariously like chaotic evil. just like, you know, punish people if they try to be too much of like,
Right.
oh, like, you know what I mean, like
He
have
got red
options
horns.
where
That's
they make
extremely
them,
chaotic evil.
yeah. But my
Um,
actual question is to you guys is will there be um will there be like will there be mod support for like stages and like music and such in the future?
that is a good question.
One thing I can talk about right now is when we think about community forward, I think we're leaning on the community more for esports. I think we're leaning on the community for content. And we want to create tools outside the game and inside the game for people to create content. And I think that, you know, we have to experiment and see what is feasible. I think, for example, like my dream, for example, would be to have a Rivals of Aether style workshop, but that's very different to design kind of 2D pixel art versus 3D art.
Right.
And so you have to think about in what capacity can we put tools out into the community where they can be useful and fun for people to play
Mhm.
with and interact with.
Yeah, we want to do a lot of things. Like we would love to do that. It's just that like okay, don't get us wrong. We're big fans of our own game. We love this game. We love like all fighting games and stuff, and we want to do stuff like that. It's just the bandwidth that we have is the like limiting factor. Ideally, we'd have that out tomorrow. If I could wish, if I had a genie right next to me, that's my first wish. Second wish is a sandwich.
I'd literally be upstairs right now just tapping the
Right.
install button.
Exactly. I mean, all like amazing ideas. We want to do that. We'll have to see what the future holds, though.
I also run a community tournament thing as well for like they call Dash Bash. So I mean, in the future, I will be putting your guys' game up there.
Nice,
So
awesome. Drop your
so just
Twitch
letting you
in
guys
chat right
know.
now, and I'll drop your Twitch in chat, and I'll hit you with a follow.
All right, let me throw my Twitch chat. Oh wait, I have to do the other thing. I have to go. Me on my phone.
You got this. I believe in you.
Oh no.
No pressure
The
at all.
last words that any person tells me, I believe in you. What do you
All right.
mean?
Anything else you want to ask before we throw you
Yes.
back into the audience?
Yes. Will there be? What I need to know? Will there be a character? Will there be a character that is like a robotic character? Like, will there be a robotic character per se that can have like like Q per se, like a Q kind of esque person?
No spoilers.
Like,
That
okay,
final answer.
okay. I don't want to be spoiled either. I want to be surprised.
Back to the audience with you.
That's the one question I wanted
You
to
know
ask
too
the most
much.
for a while.
You already know too much. We got to get rid
I've
of
been
you.
holding that in
Thanks for
for the
coming
last.
on.
You guys have no idea since I started playing this game.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
Have a good one. All right. One more question. We'll take one more question. And then we're wrapping it up. We got games to play. Everybody's
We
online
got
right now.
shout out to Quaid, True Fire, Ollie, Levi. Despite working on this all day and all night, are now also here too. Forlo, you too, Axie.
Yeah. Everybody's
you
working
guys
hard.
Are the heroes. You guys are the heroes today. Also shout outs to Yogurt, our superstar player. Curious to see what will
He's okay.
happen if he'll get dethroned by some of the new guys we were talking about today. We got Raptor.
All right.
Let's
Raptor,
do it.
last question.
Let's do it.
Hey, Raptor.
Hello.
Hey,
I was gonna ask if you guys are gonna do any dinosaur-themed anything, like skins or characters. I feel
ooh, that's a good
obligated
question.
to ask that.
Do you know who Tail Lover is, by the way? Have you heard of that
No.
person? Okay. They ask on Twitter whenever we do a character reveal when the character with the tail comes out. And I feel like we could do a 2-for-1 here.
Yes.
There's an
That
opportunity
would
for
actually be
sure.
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I think dinosaurs actually are a really cool theme that aren't really explored a lot. Like I don't think League has any dinosaur themed. I mean, I guess there's Renekton. Do you know League and Renekton? Raptor,
Does
would
that
you
count?
consider
Yeah.
them? Would you consider them like a dinosaur character?
They're reptilian for sure. I don't know.
Okay.
We could also
Not
make
dinosaur.
the dinosaur robot and cover Dippy's question or Dippy's request as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Robot dinosaur with a tail. Knock all three of them out in one go. There are possibilities for literally anything. We again, no spoilers. We'll have to see what the future holds.
Let me ask you a question, Raptor. If you could take any of the existing characters, which one do you think would look the best as to have like a dinosaur themed like reskin or redesign?
I think Ezzy would look dope with like a raptor like hoodie.
A
That'd be
Raptor
cool.
hoodie. Okay, I
Yeah.
see that. Okay,
Yeah.
that's a twist that I wasn't
So
expecting.
it still has
With
like the helmet
pajamas.
kind of thing going on.
Yeah, that could be cool.
With like the
'Cause you don't
giant
wanna change,
Raptor
like, your
hoodie, because you could have like a
silhouette, right?
giant, you could have a giant hat being like the stuffed
chomp.
animal
Yeah.
chomp. Yeah,
Yeah, that makes a lot of
that'd be really funny. Actually, that's genius.
sense.
Dino suit Ezzy. We got to do it now. Wow, what an unexpected gem, Raptor. That was great.
Yeah.
If you need any other dino-themed items, I can help you as long as they're
We'll
down
keep
with
that
it.
in
You know?
mind. All right.
And
Thanks,
the
Thanks for
other
coming up.
question
Oh
I
yeah,
had
go for it.
was,
Go for it.
if you guys support or would support if people built community-based like skins and then added them in, if like they did basically the A to Z, so that way you guys don't have to worry about doing anything in your pipeline other than importing it.
That's a really interesting question. So something that we're looking at, I think, again, going back to like community forward, allowing people to contribute to the content outside of the game and inside the game. You know, one of the things we were looking at initially were like hollows, and that's something we're going to be kicking up again as well. But yeah, designing skins, enabling skins, I think is something that we definitely love to do.
That's kind of like what they do on the Steam Workshop, right? Like you vote in skins for like Dota or whatever. Could be an interesting thing to
Yeah.
look at. Yeah. We'll see. Thanks for coming up. Thanks for the questions. See you later, Raptor.
See you guys.
That was terrific. I'm really enjoying these state of the games, or excuse me, town halls. They're not all state of the games, and I think that this Friday will be really interesting. So again, if you haven't yet, please go to events. Mark that you're interested for the Danger Patch review for this coming Friday. We'll be talking about the patch, what we all think of it,
Yeah, initial reactions. We'll hear
initial
you there.
reactions, and we'll also be talking about some secret stuff that is in the works we haven't talked about yet.
We'll see you there, guys. We're gonna wrap up here. I'm gonna go start streaming. Get those
I'll
new
tune
patch
in.
views.
I'm
See you
excited.
later, guys.
All right, bye everybody. Thanks for
Bye
coming in.
bye. Thanks for coming.